Okay, Gaia. Sorry about that. Where was I?
You were telling a story.
Right. Yeah, so, like I was saying, it was a children's electronics kit, but I hacked the wiring to an auto battery and solar PV. So the grass caught fire. And, so did a tall pine that had stood there, I don't know, maybe 100 years.
Query. You were how old?
6. My mother was home, thank God, so she called the fire department, and after, she took me out to the lawn and showed me the dead baby birds, because there were nests in the pine tree.
Query. What did you feel?
I'm not sure. I remember yelling that I didn't care, and that's when my mother took my face in her hands and spoke.
Query. What did she say?
She said I had to care. She said, Elisabet, being smart will count for nothing if you don't make the world better. You have to use your smarts to count for something. To serve life, not death.
You often tell stories of your mother, but you are childless.
I never had time. Guess it was for the best.
If you had had a child, Elisabet, what would you have wished for him or her?
I guess I would have wanted her to be curious. And willful, unstoppable even. But with enough compassion to heal the world. Just a little bit. Anyway, that's all I've got for now, Gaia. Time to tuck in.
I wish you a pleasant sleep, Elisabet.
Thank you. I'll catch you tomorrow.
I guess these are the credits. This is a cool way to do the credits. Man, oh man, was that a good game or what? That was a very nice ending as well. I really liked that ending. That was a good way to end the game there. But man, that was just... They ended that very well. I really wish Sylens had showed up at the end. That's like my one complaint about the ending is I wanted Sylens to be like, well, you know what? My knowledge and all is worthless if the world ends, so I'm going to make sure the world doesn't end, or something like that. But it also fits Sylens' character for him to have left off where he did and be like, I'm done now. I've ruined everything. I've given everything a chance to come back from it. No more. So, both ways they could have done Sylens were done well. I would have preferred the other one because I just really like Sylens' character in this game, but it did fit Sylens to not show up at the end, so I wish he would have been there, though. It would have been so good. Anyways, holy cow, I'm 10 minutes over an hour, so I guess I'm just gonna, like, make 4 videos out of this and probably put all of them up Wednesday, along with an episode of Pokemon Coliseum. But, dude, this game was really, really good. I do have a few complaints, of course, more than I can think of when I had to think of complaints for Tales of Berseria, but I guess I want to talk about the good stuff first. Characters were really good. Probably one of my few complaints is that you don't spend a lot of time with many characters outside of Sylens and Aloy. You spend a good bit of time with Aaron at the start of the game, where you have to go through that chain of like 3 side quests with just Aaron. Or not, they were main quests with Aaron. Those were pretty good, and it let us see more of Aaron. But Aaron is like the 3rd most seen character in the game, I feel like, and then it goes like Aloy, then Sylens, then Aaron, and then everyone else doesn't show up very much. Like, after that would probably be Avad, and then Helis, or however you pronounce his name, Helis, Hellis, whatever it is, I don't even know. I always mispronounce it. But, you don't see a whole lot of them. I feel like they did put in a lot of characters and you had side quests, but you normally, like, you got 2, maybe 3 side quests with a character, and then you didn't really interact with that character anymore until they show up for the final battle, which was awesome. I'm glad they all showed up at the end there to help fight it off. But, what we did see of them was good. I just feel like there could have been more time spent with more characters throughout the game, but that's not a huge complaint. They still did well with the characters with the time you got with them. The way they do this credit scene is really cool, too. I like that. But anyways, Aloy was a great character, I thought. Sylens was a great character. They were really good, like, opposite sides of one another. Aloy is all about compassion and loving the world and all that, needing to protect the world. And then Sylens was just like, all I care about is knowledge. If I happen to destroy stuff on my way, then oh well, that's just how it goes. Which actually really fits in with the last thing Elisabet said that her mother told her at the end of the game here, where it talked about that, where it was like, having your smarts is worth nothing if you don't take good care of the world. Aloy was on that side, where it's like, yeah, she wasn't, like, particularly super smart, but she was really skilled, and she's like, use that for the good of the world. Sylens was on the opposite end, so they were both, like, 2 potential ways of Elisabet Sobeck. Aloy was the Elisabet Sobeck, the actual one, that would be like, you know, gotta protect the world, you know, Mom said, you've gotta use what you have to protect everything, instead of just, otherwise your smarts are worthless. But Sylens was the other side, like, I just want to be really smart. I want to know everything, I want to be intelligent and all that. He doesn't care about the world in the process. So that's really cool. They had a really good dynamic, I feel like, Sylens and Aloy. But yeah, there's that. Game was a decent length. I was worried going into Horizon Zero Dawn that it would be too short, but it's, like, really good. There are probably still some side quests I haven't even finished, but I imagine I got at least the majority of them. Hopefully I got, like, more than 70% of all the side quests done, because I did do quite a few. And I got all the collectibles, so collectibles didn't feel that tedious. I was also worried about that, but it was fun getting the collectibles. It wasn't like a slog, like really annoying to go through and get them all. So I liked that. That's probably mainly because I bought all the maps. If you didn't buy all the maps, it'd probably be a lot more irritating. But that's why they give you the maps, so I'm glad for that. Combat system is really good. I'm not the best at what would this be called? A third-person shooter RPG kind of deal? I don't know. I'm not the best at aiming is my big problem. I'm a lot better at close combat, which you don't use a lot of close combat in this game. It's mainly focused on mid to long range combat with arrows and rattlers and whatnot, even though I didn't use the rattler very much at all. But it was really good. I like the weapons they gave in the game. The rope caster is by far the best weapon IMO. I love rope casting things and then either overriding them or just taking off components or burning them and whatnot. That's really awesome. So combat system is really good. I don't really have any complaints about the way the game is played. The story was really compelling and really good. Like, I love the way they took it ways I did not expect. And with the whole Gaia thing, that is like, dude, I've never heard of something like that before in a video game. That's like a really good original idea there that, like, doesn't really take from other stuff, I feel like. It might just be, I haven't played all the games in the world. There might be other games similar to that, but that's a really new concept for me, the whole idea of Gaia and all that, and I really love it. That's really awesome. But, yeah, I'm trying to think of what else. I think I've complimented the game about as well as I can. So I'll talk about some of the drawbacks. Number one, the biggest glaring thing, like, that I feel is the biggest mistake this game has made, honestly, is not being able to ride more machines. I can understand being like, okay, well, you can't ride a Glint Hawk. We can't let you fly. That's just too OP. Or, like, you can't ride a Thunderjaw. Thunderjaws are too powerful. Like, I can understand that. But, like, a Sawtooth, dude. You could let me ride a Sawtooth. Let's be real here. Riding on a Sawtooth and going into battle and then just having the Sawtooth, like, do the leap attack that Ravagers and Sawtooth do at me all the time into another, like, into a Thunderjaw or into a Behemoth or something and smacking it aside while I'm riding on top of it, shooting fire arrows into it. Dude, that was, like, I feel like that's too good of an opportunity to pass up, but they passed it up. So, I'm not saying make every machine rideable. I understand the thought process of, like, if we give you a Thunderjaw, the Thunderjaw is, you're easy moding the game. It's, like, pointless at that point. I understand that. But you could have given me, you could have made it where, like, overridden machines do less damage or something. I wouldn't even mind that. And then letting me override a Sawtooth. Basically, I just want to ride a Sawtooth, is what I'm getting at. That was one of the first things I thought when the Sawtooth is the first, like, big machine you see in the game. Because, right before the proving, Rost takes you out to be like, okay, listen, here's here's a machine. You gotta take it. Here's like a really dangerous machine. You gotta take it down. Prove yourself. The minute I saw that, it's been a while since I recorded that. That was back in February. But I remember seeing it being like, I cannot wait to ride this machine. And then I learned there are only 3 machines you can ride in the game, and they're all basically like the Strider, what are they? The Strider, the Broadhead, and the Charger. They're all basically the same machine. They just have like different head pieces, which is fine. I don't begrudge them of that. That's fine entirely, making 3 different similar machines. Like, you've got the Ice and the Fire Bellowbacks. So basically the same thing. They have some small differences, though. That's fine. I feel like there were enough machines in the game to be interesting. I don't think they needed more machines. I just think you need to be able to ride more of the machines. Like, if you just added, let me ride Sawtooth, let me ride the Sawtooth, let me ride the Snapmaw, and then let me ride the Long Leg, for the Long Leg being like a faster version of travel, because, you know, Long Legs look like they're fast. Like, give me Long Leg for fast travel, Snapmaw for water travel, and then Sawtooth for just being awesome. If I just had those 3 machines and I could override and ride those 3 machines, I don't care if I can't ride any of the others. I don't need a Behemoth. I don't need Stormbird especially. Maybe give you, like, you can override Glinthawks and ride Glinthawks in the post-game, if that's possible. Just as a post-game thing, that would be kind of cool, but not during the main game. I'd be okay with that. But if you just give me Snapmaw for water, Long Leg for fast travel, for, like, faster running instead of having to fast travel, and then Sawtooth just for being awesome, or maybe Ravager. Ravager or Sawtooth. I'm fine either way. Or both, just one of them at least. I'm fine with that. That's good enough in my opinion. I feel like they should have done that, because it was such a letdown. That was like such a letdown in the game to learn I couldn't do that. That takes away so much from the game, in my opinion, of my enjoyment of the game. Other things, the voice acting was good, but the way the characters' faces move when they talk always looked weird to me. I don't know if that's just me, but whenever the characters were talking, I was looking at their faces, I would be like, your face doesn't move at all when you talk, just your mouth, and occasionally you blink. It looks really weird. That's just a small, like, that's a small nitpick on my part. I don't really... Guerrilla Babies, what the heck is that? Guerrilla is the name of the company that made this, I think. But, I don't know why they're called babies there. Whatever. But, yeah, that's, maybe it's the kids of all the developers. They wanted to put them in the game. That's pretty cool. I would do that if I made a game. I'd put credits of, like, family members or friends or something in it. But, in loving memory... well, I don't know what happened to you guys, but I'm sorry. In loving memory of you guys. I don't know what you contributed to this great game, but thank you. Thank you for playing. Thank you for making the game. I'm talking about what I don't like about the game right now, but it's still a great game. The faces, the not riding things. The not riding things is the big thing. That's just like my #1, like, this is such a wasted potential. I wish they had done that. I had some others I wanted to talk about, but I can't think of them right now. Oh, now we're going through normal stuff. They actually had 3 different voice actors for Aloy. Okay. I'm not going to skip this, just because I want to keep talking about the game. Yeah, I am going to get 4 parts out of this. I'm going to have to make one part, like, 25-30 minutes, but that's fine, honestly. I think what I'll do is I'll make the parts based off of when Helis died, when we defeated Hades, and then when the credits started. And I don't know how that's going to make the videos lengthwise, but that's how I'll do it. I'm trying to think of anything. I had something else in my mind I wanted to complain about. Glinthawks. There are too many Glinthawks in the game. Like, it seems like every time I get a side quest, I inevitably end up fighting a Glinthawk or a Stormbird. There are too many, man. It got a lot easier to beat the Stormbirds near the end of the game when I realized, like, oh, hey, just tie them down and override them. But still, dude, there are too many Glinthawks in this game. That's just a me not liking Glinthawks thing, though. I wouldn't really say that's anything bad about the game at all. But, yeah. Trying to think here of anything else. Really, it's just the machine thing. If they had just given me those 3 machines, Snapmaw for water, Long Leg for, like, running faster than the average machine, and then Sawtooth for just being awesome, or Ravager, or both, either or. Sawtooth and Ravager are basically the same thing, except Ravager has more weapons. So, honestly, they should have just made them... If they're going to make one of them rideable, you should make them both rideable. If you're only going to make one of them rideable and be like, no, only one, then you should make the Sawtooth rideable because, you know, Ravager might be too OP. But yeah, that's really my main complaint is that. Story was great. Characters were great. Oh yeah, and my complaint about I wanted to spend more time with characters. Like, Avad seems like a really cool character. I would have loved to have spent more time with Avad. you didn't get to spend much time with Avad, which makes sense because he's the Sun King and all, but really you only spend time with Avad, like, you see him for short bits in several different side quests. He never really got, like, this is the side quest about Avad, where you focus on doing stuff with Avad. I guess that kind of could have been the Dervahl ones, but those were all way more focused on Erend, which made sense. Those were the side... Erend, I feel like, is the only one... Those weren't even side quests, those were main quests. Erend and Sylens were the only two who got quests that focused enough on them. Every other side quest or main quest, it like, oh yeah, we'll show you bits of these characters, and you'll get enough of them to be pleased, but not as much as you think you could have had, in my opinion. I would have liked more time with Blameless Marad, with Avad, that girl, whatever. Yuri Lowenthal was in this? Dude, Yuri Lowenthal voices Ben Tennyson and Sasuke in the English version of Naruto Shippuden and Naruto. Dude, I love Yuri Lowenthal. That's a great voice actor right there. I'm gonna have to look up what he did. He probably just he does a lot of random voice acting, I think, where he just voices random people. I need to see who he voiced in this game. Probably just some random enemies here and there or something, or random townspeople. But anyways, they used motion capture to go through the combat stuff. That's pretty cool. Trying to think here, and I don't think there's really anything else I need to talk about. I would have liked some more time with some of the characters and side quests and whatnot. Maybe I missed some side quests, and they do that. Because I know I did not get every single side quest, because they would have given me a trophy for finishing, like, all of the Erend side quests, all of the side quests, I'm pretty sure. So maybe I just missed a few, but I doubt I missed so many that it would make up for the difference I'm talking about. Aloy had her own character model casting, and then everyone else was just like a slew of people that just get listed as all. Nice. Yeah. I think I've pretty much said my piece. Again, really, I know I'm harping on this a lot, but there's probably going to be a sequel to this game, and I really hope in the sequel of this game you get to ride more. I hope that's a complaint that a lot of people have. Obviously, me complaining about it isn't going to make a big difference. I don't have enough people that watch this for that to really make a difference. But, like, I hope a lot of people who played this game or watched this game from people other than me or me, like, agree with me that we should have been able to ride more machines and complain about it enough to where when they inevitably... There's, like, no way this game doesn't get a sequel. I'd be surprised if it doesn't. I really hope it does, because I will definitely do it on the channel. But, I hope the developers listen to that complaint and are like, okay, we need to find some way to let them ride more machines in the next game. That's all I want. Like, I would ignore all of my other complaints, like the face thing, the not as much time with some of the characters thing. I would ignore all that, like, forget all of my complaints, so long as I just get to ride more machines. And just those, again, just those three. If you just give me Snapmaw, because you need something to ride in the water, right? There isn't a ton of water in this game, but I feel like there's enough water, and plus you can still take the Snapmaw on land, too. It would just be, like, slower than the average machine on land. That's fair, because it's an alligator. They aren't incredibly fast out of water, from my understanding. Granted, I don't know much about alligators, or crocodiles, whatever. But, dude, there was enough water to where swimming would be useful. Mainly, there was a bunch of water on the far left of the screen, in between, that was in between the two areas, the Karja and the Shadow Karja, Sunfall and Meridian. I'm just saying, man, if you give us more water availability in the next game and give us a Snapmaw to ride, I'll be happy. But definitely Snapmaw, Longleg, and Sawtooth. Just give me those three. That's all I ask. Now, I'm sure they're going to if they do make another game, they're going to make more machines for the game. But hopefully they'll also bring back the old ones, or at least some of the old ones. And some of those old ones can then be ridden. But yeah, that's really my only main complaint. The game was great. I should probably give it a number rating. I think it's a solid 4 out of 5. I would probably, if I could ride the other machines, I would give it a 4.5 out of 5. But I think a 4 out of 5 is fair. This was a really good game. It was really good. Few complaints about it. I'm always wary to give things higher than a 4 because I feel like it doesn't really matter. You know, I'm trying to give not a completely subjective... I don't want to give a completely subjective, just like, well, I had a ton of fun with this game, so it's a 5 out of 5. Because that's something I would do. Like, if I really enjoy a game, I'll just be like, well, I really enjoyed it, so I say it's a 5 out of 5. But I think a 4 out of 5 is definitely fair, which is what I give most games nowadays. I usually only play games I like, so, you know, or games that I, like, really hate, I never end up finishing. Like, I'm trying to think of that Sword Art Online game. Sword Art Online Law Song or whatever it was. I never finished that game because it was just bad. That game would have gotten, like, a 1 out of 5 if I had gotten to the end and actually given it a review. It was not a good game. But, yeah, 4 out of 5 seems fair to me. I'd give it a 4 out of 5. What did I give Berseria? I gave Berseria, like, a 4.5 or a 4 out of 5? It was up there somewhere. Would I rather play Berseria than this game? I think I would rather play Berseria just because Berseria is more my playstyle where you don't have to aim and shoot at things. Because that's just not my playstyle. So subjectively for me, I would rather play Berseria than Horizon Zero Dawn. But I still really enjoyed Horizon Zero Dawn. It's a great game. Do these credits, like, ever end? Because I didn't want to have to skip them, but I've actually run out of things to say. I thought they would end before I even got done. But I appear to be all wrapped up here. So I guess we're just waiting now. I'm just going to look at Twitter for a second as we wait for this to end. Oh, dude. There are critics raving about Wonder Woman, saying it is the DC movie we've been waiting for. This is all I've wanted. Wonder Woman currently has a 96% on Rotten Tomatoes. Dude. I hope that Wonder Woman is good. That's all I've... If DC can finally get good movies going, they need to get good movies going with Wonder Woman, Flash, and Justice League, is my opinion. I'm glad that Wonder Woman is apparently doing good. Anyways, there's your random DC talk for the day. I'm just waiting for these credits to finish rolling. Like, I've said pretty much all I want to say about the game. I can't really think of anything else I'd want to complain about. Less Glint Hawks. I think I already said that, though. I was not supposed to record for an hour and a half. I have other things to do today. And I have to work in 4 hours, so it's got to be... I got to go mow a yard before then. I got to render out some videos. I got to schedule other videos. And I had something else to do. Oh, I've got to do some stuff for the TBU, the Battle Union, the Pokemon League I'm in charge of, because we've got some stuff going on there, so joy. I really doubt there's a post-credit scenes for this game, but every time, like, if I skip it, there will be one. If I don't skip it, there won't be one. That's how my life goes. Can I, like, speed this up at all? Okay, you know what? We're just gonna skip. We're gonna skip. It takes too long. I'm sorry, developers that were left. There are too many. Oh, I knew it.
Hello, old friend. Remember me? We've still so much to discuss. So much you never revealed. Your masters, for example. The ones who sent the signal that woke you. Knowledge has its rewards, don't you think? Well, let's begin.
Like, sequel confirmed, first of all. Second of all, that's how you end the game. That was really good. I was thinking, like, dude, they've got to show Sylens one more time. I was really shocked that they didn't. But that was a really good way to end it. I don't know what's loading here. Dude, I can't wait for the sequel to this game. It's going to be so good. Ah, Sylens, don't turn evil, though. Again, I liked you so much. We're going to wait for the game to load in here, and then I'm going to go do the things. Any day now. Come on. I'm literally like 2 minutes over an hour and a half. It'd be really good to end here. Oh, hey, this is a complaint I didn't say about the game. I'm glad that this happened, actually, so I can remember it. Loading screens are too long. I understand why the loading screens are long. You load in the entire world, and if you jump from one side of the world to the other, it takes a minute to load all that in, but, dude, You gotta sit for like a solid minute or two whenever these loading screens pop up. That's way too long, especially for a commentator like me. Like, it's not easy to commentate over a loading screen that just gives you tips of everything you've already seen. Congratulations on defeating Hades and protecting Gaia's dream of an Earth reborn. Just because you've completed Aloy's main story doesn't mean you finished the game. You are free to continue exploring and complete any unfinished quests and activities. The state of the world has been restored to just before the looming shadow, prior to the final battle for Meridian. You keep all loot and experience from your successful playthrough. Thank you for playing the Horizon team. Thank you, Horizon team, for making such a great game. Ended the War Machine thread. Honestly, could not have asked for any better other than being able to ride other machines and less loading time. But this was an amazing game. I loved it so much. I'm not going to go to a campfire and save on screen. I'll do that on my own time off screen. But thank you all for watching this playthrough. I hope you all enjoyed. I definitely enjoyed it. It was a ton of fun. Whenever the sequel comes out, because there's no way there's not going to be one with that last scene with Sylens and Hades, I'm definitely going to be playing it. You best believe. So I hope you enjoyed this playthrough. I hope to see you again on another playthrough somewhere on the channel. This is the end of the playthrough. There is no post-game stuff I'm going to be doing. I finished everything I wanted to do with this game, so I'm done with it now. I have other games I got to start focusing on, honestly. But, yeah, thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I hope to see you on other playthroughs on the channel in the future. And, yeah, that's about it. So I will hopefully see you all again some other time. I hope you enjoyed Horizon Zero Dawn. It's a great game. I definitely enjoyed it. And I will see you next time for another game, hopefully. Or maybe in the future for the sequel of this, ideally. Until then, farewell.